Hey Daniel, good to see you. Welcome to Give It a Nudge. You're our first guest. Obviously, we've had our first 4 episodes that have been sort of talking a bit about Nudge Group, but you're our first official guest, so you should be very happy to be number one, I'm sure.
Privileged to be number one.
Obviously, you and I know each other because I'm a member of your business, and and you're the CEO and founder of CUB, the sort of club for entrepreneurs where we connect. But why don't you sort of talk a little bit about what CUB is, and then what I'd love to do is, I think everybody knows that every company, particularly founders, have a story about their business and how it came about and where it's at the moment. I'd love to just sort of go straight in with that so that people know who you are and understand what your business does. So why don't we just hit it off with that?
Yeah, well, in short, I mean, the simplest way to think about CUB is that we're a members club that builds valuable relationships between accomplished Australian entrepreneurs. So essentially, we're just giving Aussie entrepreneurs the network they need to take their business to that next level. Having the right network is, I mean, it's the oldest and most proven tactic of all time of securing success.
Yep.
And there's just never been an easy way to do it. And so as you know, that's exactly what we do. And we're very good at it. And I guess the story is a bit funny because I was very young when I started CUB.
You were, I remember.
And so I didn't know how to do like a business plan. Well, I just didn't do it, even if I knew how to do it. And I didn't really know what CUB was going to become. And I did, however, come from a family of business. And I always knew from a very young age that I was going to be in business. That's what I was, I guess, lucky to know that that was the path I wanted. And I idolized and had a great appreciation for entrepreneurs and business owners. I know how hard it is to be one and how much they do for their families, their teams, the families of their teams, and the communities that they serve. And so I had a very big passion for entrepreneurs. So my old man is a brilliant entrepreneur, and my mother is the ultimate family person. And so I kind of put those two great lessons, and I guess you'd call it not mentors. What's the people you look up to?
You've mentioned 3 times, and obviously I know you well and I know the club well, but you've mentioned 3 times in the way you've been talking, you've mentioned the word family 3 times, right? Which I find fascinating. And obviously this is a club. Is that something that you feel you've created with CUB?
That what we did do. So yeah, that was kind of what I was getting to. So I took the entrepreneur and I took the family, and we made a business family, which was the concept of CUB. And that's what we are. We're a business family. We're a close community of accomplished entrepreneurs who are united under one common goal, and that's to help each other succeed. The same way your family would.
How many members are there now?
Just under 1,000 people.
100,000.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's grown a lot.
Yeah.
Is it 5? Is it 4 years or 5?
No, we turned 5 October 21st.
That's right. We're having a party, right?
We are. I
haven't seen the invite.
No, you haven't got it, but you are most certainly there.
Okay,
and that's pretty cool because obviously we can't have too many people.
Yep.
Because of COVID and whatnot. So we're only going to have the longest standing members, and you are one of course, our favourite.
I'm very pleased about that. Look, it's interesting. I mean, I've seen. You're right. When you started, I remember you were. I was a little bit younger. You were very young. Now I'm a lot older, and you're middle-aged. But I remember it's changed a lot. You know,
that's the first time anyone's called me middle-aged.
I've been dying to do that for years. I don't know, where is middle-aged these days, but let's not worry about that. But I mean, the CUB has changed and it's evolved massively over that period.
Yeah.
What do you think? You know, you said to me you didn't have a plan, and look, I'm not a massive business plan fan either. Well, I've had a number of businesses and I've had plans and they've never gone to plan. So I've kind of like to have an evolving plan, I guess.
Yes.
How do you think, and what do you think made CUB evolve? Do you think it was the people you hired, or the members, or the world, or?
It's a combination. The people, the team is the most important thing. It's the only reason we're doing so well, is because we've got the team. But I didn't have the team the whole way through. As you know, a lot of the team is quite recent, within the last 2 years.
Yep.
Which means that the company really sucked until you got the right team. Because it doesn't matter, first thing we did was figure out what it was, what members actually wanted.
Yep.
For example, when we started, we were never a networking company. Or we weren't even about building valuable relationships. It was just, we're a business family, come in and just do whatever. And everyone was joining. And they were paying the same price they pay now.
Yep.
But back then it was monthly. Up front now because it's too much of a
I
headache.
don't think I ever got offered the monthly option.
No, you must have come straight. That was the first 6 months. and so I'd ask them. I'd say, and mind you, it was just me. It was one other guy, and the clubhouse had barely any furniture, and there were no events or anything like that. There was no service.
Yep.
And people would join, and they join easily. And I asked them all, why are you joining? And they all said the same thing. I want to meet other people in my position. And I very quickly realized that, because I knew it was for business, so I knew it was a business family, but I didn't know what demographic of business owner it would be. Was it early stage startup? Was it young entrepreneur? Was it super successful person? Was it CEO? I didn't know.
Yep.
And who it turned out to be was what I started calling the next generation of big business. So it wasn't the small early stage startups and small business, very small business. It wasn't the big business and the guys at the end of the career who've accumulated all the wealth and things like that. It was the next generation of that. It was the fast-growing business owners looking to take their business to the next level. They've achieved a great amount of success already. They don't want to lose it.
Yep.
And they want to go. They haven't accomplished their ambitions. They're not there yet. And that's who I remember. That's who it was for. So I learned very quickly. That's who I remember is. They want to join and meet each other, other people in their position, and of course they want to do so to elevate themselves in their business. And once I learned that, then I had to figure out how to actually do it, which took forever. It's very hard.
Define forever.
Oh, it took 3 years.
Yeah, that's probably. I reckon you probably hit your straps at about 3 years. I'd agree with that.
And we had just started getting better. We weren't like crash hot. We were good. I still reckon we're the best in the industry, but we weren't crash hot. And the reason we weren't crash hot was because we didn't have the team. Right? When the team came, and so everything was known, the system was in place, and then the team came to operate that, and of course to improve it.
Yep.
That was really when things just started going. Woof, woof, woof. That's when it got a lot bigger, which brought a whole new range of problems that we had to solve. But the team was the biggest difference.
Well, that's good. And look, that leads nicely into my sort of next question. And I like asking this because I don't think enough podcasts do. I really want to talk to you about, I guess, everyone always talks about success, which is great. And we should talk about success and we should celebrate success. But I want to talk about what wasn't successful, what went wrong. What was your biggest challenge? What was the biggest mistake you made? Let's talk about that. And that might have been in the first 3 years, or maybe it was when you hit your straps. But if you look back, not maybe the most obvious one, but probably the one you beat yourself up about the most.
Well, no, the hard thing for us, we made a lot of mistakes, but they were mistakes that needed to be made, because the hard thing for us was that there's no other company like us. There's no other company that does what we do, the way we do it. They don't have the same job titles and the same systems and operate. We invented something completely new. It'd be like inventing this chair that floats.
Yep.
No one's done that. It's very hard to invent something. And when you're inventing something new, everything's a mistake because you can't copy it. It's not like I'm starting a real estate agency. That's the model, that's how it works, that's who I need to hire. I can just go copy and paste and
Yep.
So we didn't have that. So mistakes we made were often needed to happen, but there were things like trying to figure out how to systematically engage 1,000 business owners every month with valuable, enjoyable engagements where they're building strong relationships with other business owners.
Yep.
Creating the operations behind that was like, it was so hard. It took so long. It was so much refining. And we did things like, often we were a bit too far forward. So when for example, the big mistake, when we learned, okay, people want to network.
Yep.
We started selling networking, but we didn't know how to do networking yet. So people weren't happy, those group of members were not happy because we were selling them all what we knew they wanted, but we hadn't figured out how to actually accomplish that for everyone systematically. We hadn't figured out the product yet. We could do it for parts of the membership base and stuff, but not systematically. And so a big lesson was in expectations, right? Just because you know what they want doesn't mean you should tell them, you give them that until you're 100% certain that you can.
Yeah.
And like, you could call that a mistake, but at the same time, like, we needed to do that at the time. We needed the cash flow, we needed the people, we needed the bodies, we needed the those members to learn how to serve the future members we were getting. So, like, I mean, you could call it a mistake, but at the end of the day, it's a mistake that had to happen for the benefit of more people.
Look, I remember because I left. I don't know if you know. I didn't renew for about 4 months.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that?
No.
Did you not know that? Yeah, I put a protest in and came to me and said, oh, it's time to renew. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not happy. I said, this is not what I want. This is not what you told me. I said, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And he was a bit, I think he was a bit shocked because I was still pretty engaged.
Yeah.
And then he rang me about, I think maybe 6 or 8 weeks later. And he said, we've changed. We've listened to what you said because you weren't the only one. You know, you weren't the only one. There was a few, which is why I didn't sort of argue with you at the time. He goes, we've changed. It was literally maybe a 2-month period.
Yeah.
He said, come back in and I'll explain it to you. So I went back in and he explained what you'd done. And, you know, obviously this was this period. And I think I saw you change more than anything as well. I think I saw you as a person change during that period, which I imagine would have been quite hard to have members come in and saying, actually, no, I don't want this, you know.
No, you know what was the hardest part of that period was because our business is so client-facing. I mean, if I fire someone, the entire community knows I fired them. They can all see it.
Yep.
Right, so I'd have all these people being like, what's wrong with you? Why are you firing all these people? But I was committed to firing. I was committed to firing anyone that was not perfect. I knew what I wanted, and I knew what we needed, and I knew that the type of people we need is a really high-level entrepreneurial type person because they have to deal with you all day, every day, and you're that person.
And very easy to get.
But you want to deal with someone directly that you can deal with. You're used to dealing with business owners.
It's brave to do that. It's brave to fire people.
Yeah, and look where we are now. We're the largest members club for entrepreneurs in the country. We're the fastest growing. In fact, we grow more on an annual basis than all the competition combined.
Really?
Yes,
I know that.
By far. We have the best members. We have the most diverse demographic of member. We have held off expansion into other states. Obviously, we've got Sydney and Melbourne. But very soon we're going to be expanding. The only reason I held it off was because making good cash the way we're doing it, and the clubs are still growing. They're not full yet.
Well, COVID too. COVID's obviously, you know, put a little bit of. I mean, but talk to us about COVID. I mean, I know obviously you pivoted enormously, as I saw, from being in a clubhouse to suddenly being online. You did that very quickly. But talk to us how you went through that and what you learned about that and how that's affected you.
COVID's the best thing that ever happened to the company. I can tell you that straight up,
That's
straightforward. Awesome. And there's, I can think of 2 really good reasons. The first, 3 really good reasons. The first is that the team went to war together.
Yep.
And they fought this battle and they won. And so everyone has this tremendous bond now, this tremendous amount of respect and also trust for each other, that the person sitting next to me will fight any battle with me and I'm going to win. So the team has just, boom, exploded to the next level. They were already weapons. They went from 10s to 12s. That's what happened, and bonded as one.
Yeah.
So the first thing is the team. The second thing was the business model. It just got 10,000 times better. Because for the first time, I was forced to look at the finances and to look at like the stupid thing. Like I cut all costs that have nothing to do. If it didn't have something to do with building valuable relationships between our members or accomplished entrepreneurs, I cut it. I got rid of it. Best thing we ever did. No members have complained about anything, and everyone likes because you'd think they would, and everyone likes CUB even more. The renewal rates are higher than they've ever been.
What did you get rid of? Give me some examples.
We got rid of all the bar staff. Think about that. That's a huge cost.
It would have been, yeah.
And not one member said anything about it because we're doing better what they joined for, which is to build valuable relationships.
We were all drinking at home during COVID. Yeah. We didn't need any more bar staff.
Yeah, no, but even now it's open. There's no bar staff. Think about that.
Yeah.
No one says anything.
I've not even, you know what? I've been in there a lot in the last month. I've not even noticed that.
Exactly, because we're doing what we promised so well. So that's something that doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, that's a good example. So the business model, our revenue did decrease. It actually decreased 25%, but our costs decreased way more than that, which means our profits went up during a period when people were having a hard time.
Yep.
And that was just because I focused on the business model. So the business model got much better. Now, when the economy comes back up, which it always eventually does, and it will have to again, we're going to be riding that wave with a much leaner, a much stronger model, which means the profit margins are going to skyrocket with growth. So the business is much better as a model now. And the third thing was that the product we offer got proven. We're not a want. Belonging and human connection is not a want, which some people thought CUB was. It was shown to be a need.
Yep.
People did not leave, right? And people still join. We had 35 members join last month.
Which is nuts, right?
It's nuts. People going broke everywhere, and 35 people are paying us thousands of dollars to join, which shows that it showed the power of what we actually do. We sell people safety and belonging. Belonging is safety. You're safer. Your odds of succeeding are much higher in CUB than they are out.
Yes.
It's like being in the jungle. You by yourself, big ass lion's going to come take your ass out. If you got a family around you, you got other people, you got other men, other women there with spears and shit, the lion's not going to get you. You're much safer.
Yep.
And that's the primal thing about CUB. They're safer and better. Their chance of survival is much higher in CUB than it is out. And the thing about entrepreneurs is they're often not doing it for themselves, right? They love what they do. And yes, there is that self-belief. They want to fulfill how they view themselves. But they're doing it for their families, for their kids, for the families of their team, and for their team. They carry a lot of weight. And so security that they've got someone to speak to about their position and that's in the same position is really important. So the team got stronger, the business model got stronger, and the product got proven. And all those three things are huge. Well, that would never happen without COVID. And also I got a lot better.
Again.
Yeah.
And look, again, you're doing the segues for me here. You're just leading me straight to my next question. This is awesome. So my next question really comes down to something about you rather than about CUB. Mm-hmm. And I like to ask this of everyone. And I think it's quite a difficult question. And I know I sort of pre-warned you just so you could have a little bit of a think about it. But think about a belief that you may have had for some significant amount of time that's changed, not necessarily because of COVID, but for whatever reason. It could have been before or after, or even today during filming, something might have changed. I don't know. But think about a belief that you had that was core to, it was a core belief of yours that you don't have anymore, that is different, and why that happened. It's a difficult question, I know.
It is, and I actually don't have a very good answer. But I can tell you, lately through COVID, a lot of my beliefs actually got reaffirmed. For example, I believe that every bad thing can have an equally positive. Mm-hmm. And while COVID was a horrendous thing for our company, think about it, we're a networking company. We literally bring people together.
Yep.
We weren't able to do that. That, in theory, sounds horrible for us.
Horrific.
But because we were so committed to finding the good thing, and because the team is just so good, and it wasn't me, it was the team, that they found the positives. We just looked for the positives, and we found them, and we did so many things. So, I mean, I reaffirm my belief in that every bad thing can have an equally positive good thing if you search for it. Difference is some people look, some people don't. The other thing was that I knew that CUB was a need, not a want. So that got reaffirmed.
How did you know that? Was that just a belief?
Because it's human need. You need people. If you look at everyone right now in Melbourne, they're all locked in their houses. They're all depressed because they have no human connection. Yeah. Of course, they're confined to space, but mostly they just don't have people need human connection. You've evolved. Humans are social creatures. You've evolved to survive together. You didn't evolve to be alone like a tiger, right? Where you just walk around the jungle, you find a girl tiger, you have sex once, and you move on.
Find a girl tiger.
Or the girl finds a boy tiger.
Is it called a tigress?
Yes.
I think
so. But my point is, okay, they evolved to be alone, right? They need a lot of space, all that type of stuff. Yep. Humans didn't. We evolved to literally stay together. That we need each other.
Yep. And
I knew that. And I knew that there's all sorts of communities in life. You got your family, you got your friends, you could have your gym, you could have your church, you could have your sports team.
Yep.
Right? These are all communities, and all these different communities make you stronger in their own way for a specific reason. Your university community makes you smarter. Your gym community makes you healthier. Your family gives you mental support and love and connection.
Yep.
For your friends, give you a whole other thing. But where do business owners go, particularly ones that have achieved a level of success that there's not many people that have? Where's their community?
Yep.
They don't have one. They've never had one until CUB. And so I knew that was a need. And you wasn't.
No, look, you're right. I think communities have changed. You know, there used to be more. There aren't as many as there used to be. Used to be a lot of church communities. There used to be a lot of religious.
And that's
there used to be villages. And
separated
that's
because of
gone now.
technology.
Technology, big houses.
And technology is never going to replace human connection. And one thing that did change dramatically for me through COVID was I never, ever would have let people work from home or from wherever.
I've heard this so many times.
I never would have, ever. I would have fired them because I'm like, you don't want to hang out with the team? Like, because our team's so close. It's such a family. It's the best team in the country. It is all the members get angry at me for saying that, but it just is. They're that good. Right? It's just such a good team because they're just so close. They support each other so much. And I never wanted that to be separate. I still don't prefer it. But seeing how well they did through COVID while they were all split up made me realize, hey, they should be able to do whatever they want. If they want to work from home today, work from home. If they want to work from the beach, work from the beach. At the end of the day, I don't care so long as you're happy and so long as you're supporting the rest of your team members by fulfilling your role and what you need to do so that the rest of the team can do what we need to do. If that's been happening, I don't care.
Well, there's your changing belief. And I think, and I could be wrong because you know me, I'm as dyslexic as you are, but I think it's an oxymoron almost in the fact that you're building a community where people need to be together, but you now also believe they can work apart, which I know they're
rarely
different.
and occasionally, but they need to be together.
They do.
And if you're apart, so if you're going to be apart and not physically together, your communication between the group needs to increase, and we did that. So we tripled our communication between the team. We had 2 to 3 meetings a day when we're all separate Zoom, so that we're still in each other's lives. And we talk about life and work. We don't just do what was the best part of your work day? We say, what was your favorite thing that happened yesterday to you?
You didn't make it official meetings. It was casual. It was connecting. It was talking. It was. I mean, there would have been some official stuff, I'm sure, but it was more just about getting together.
Our morning meeting is, what were you grateful for from yesterday? Everyone says what they were grateful for.
That's incredibly powerful. I've read that 100 times. Just every day, spending a couple of minutes saying what you're grateful for. It has enormously positive impacts on your whole day.
Yeah, I reckon. And we love it. And also, it's not too serious, so like everyone's kind of light and whatnot. But so, what are you grateful for? Then I might go on like a rant about whatever I've decided to go on about. It's normally they choose. And then I ask our engagement managers, our community managers, what's on today, so we all know. They'll tell us what members are doing today, how many groups are going, blah, blah. So we're all aware. The rest of the team, the membership team's aware. And then we just say, let's go kick ass. That's literally our morning meeting. That's all we do.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So you said when you recover, when the economy recovers, you're well placed to skyrocket. Is there anything...
We're biting at our teeth to do it. Ready to rock.
Chomping at the bit, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you are... What's the first thing? I'm sure you've got a lot of plans, and I've heard about some of them from you. I'm sure there's a lot of different plans and things that you want to do. What's the first thing you're going to do when you feel... Not that we've gone back to normal, because I don't think we'll go back to what everyone considers normal. I think there'll be a new normal. But when we get back to probably a little bit more of a predictable future, what is the first thing you've got on your plate of future stuff that you just want to jump straight on? Or are you already doing it now? Are you already planning it now?
No, we're preparing to do. So the first thing we're doing is improving the business model again, and I know how we're going to do that. Then after that happens, the second Sydney club opens. After that happens, the Brisbane club opens. After that happens, either the second Melbourne or the third Sydney, or both at the same time will open.
Okay, so a few plans.
That's relatively, that's the 3-step plan. Okay. That's what we're doing.
All right, let's go back to you quickly. I'm going to ask this question. I wasn't sure if I was. We spoke about it before because I don't know if I like this question because it's on so many podcasts, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
Because, let's just do it. Tell me what and I know you're a big reader because I've seen your library in your house. What are you either reading or what other podcasts are you, although they probably wouldn't have this video get up, but what other podcasts are you listening to at the moment?
Why do you really listen to 2 podcasts? And now I'm going to start listening to this one. But obviously, CUB's podcast, Catching Up with CUB, which you've been on.
I have.
For a wicked episode.
It was a lot of fun. That was the first week of COVID. Do you remember? It was the first.
Yeah.
It was 3 days after they locked us down, and I came into your apartment because you'd set it up there.
Yeah.
And Laura sprayed me with all this disinfectant for about 20 minutes before I was allowed in, and then we sat down and did. I remember it was a lot of fun.
So I actually don't listen to it because I'm in the conversation, so I know what was said. But I do, like, I'll listen occasionally to improve my own communication skills, and I really do love what the members say, and I just think it's a really cool. It's a very different entrepreneurial business podcast to what you typically find.
I listen to everything, every episode, and it's probably the only show I do actually listen to every episode because I know most of the people on it.
Yeah, that's what makes it cool too, because the members know each other.
Yeah.
And other than that, I love Joe Rogan. I just think his style, the way he speaks, like sometimes it's about business, but very rarely, often it's just about life and what's going on. I could listen to Joe Rogan. I cook, which I learned how to do in COVID, while I listen to Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan's definitely a podcast. Books, I read so many, as you've seen my library, but I'm actually shocking at remember any of the names or the authors.
Did you read the one I bought you yet? Remember I bought you that book?
I definitely would have read it. What was it called? I definitely would have read it. Yeah, I read Blink. And so a book that I love recommending to people, I don't know who it's by. It's a green cover. It's called Playing to Win. It's a book on strategy.
I know that one.
And it's a brilliant book. I think every business owner should read the book. And it's also relevant for any business size as well, which is what I like about it. Otherwise, a more serious book, I believe the author's name is Michael Porter, and it's called, can't remember, something about strategy. Advantage strategy.
Michael Porter, I can't be that much.
He's kind of the founder of business strategy. He's like the originator of the really good thinking towards business strategy and how to analyze your market and industry and your business, how to create defensible models. If you type Michael Porter, he's only got, I think, like 3 books. They're like this thick, but they're wicked, wicked books.
Okay.
So I definitely recommend them. But above listening to things, above reading books, surrounding yourself with super smart people is the best way to get smarter. Whoever you surround yourself with is what's going to happen. It's the information you're going to have, it's the vibe you're going to receive, it's the mentality you're going to get. The more people you can surround yourself in the same position as yourself, right? One of the best parts about having a good network is having access to knowledge that you'd never have access to.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm set for renewal soon, and we're safe there. I'm renewing again for my fifth time. Yeah. And look, I couldn't agree more. So look, as you know, part of what we're doing at the Nudge Group is we're trying to help companies, startups, even scale-ups, really get their message out about why people might want to work for them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you that question now. I'm going to say to you, sort of, right now, if you were hiring, and I know you've just hired, so you're probably not, but if you were hiring right now, what would you want to say to them as to why they should come and join CUB to work as an employee?
I would tell them, do not come join CUB unless you want to be part of a seriously high-performing team, right? We don't care what we have to do to get the job done. We work, we get the job done, and we value family and a family vibe and ambition, probably, wanting to build something amazing for ourselves, for our futures, and for our families above everything. And we're passionate about entrepreneurship. So if you do not like any of those things, do not join CUB, because we're very, very strict about wanting incredible people. The only other thing is that it's just the best job in the world. You literally hang around a bunch of legends all day, incredibly smart people that are super accomplished. Right? You work in luxury clubhouses that are designed for some of Australia's best business owners to be comfortable in. So we literally work in the most beautiful settings ever. The team is like a group of friends. It's like a family. They literally just hang out, and everyone loves each other. Everyone's so supportive. We don't care about mistakes. We care about not trying. We do care about making mistakes 2 or 3 times. That's a big no-no. But we would rather give it a shot than we're more scared of not trying than we are making a mistake. We want to build great futures for ourselves. We want to build something we're proud to say that I built that any one of our team can say, I built that. Without them, it would not have been built the way it is. Without them, they're all crucial. Every one of them. There's no one in the team that's just there. They're all crucial. And so that's why, if you like that vibe, if you like wanting to be part of a seriously high-performing team, then get involved. And of course, you need to love entrepreneurship. We value entrepreneurship, and CUB is like Disneyland for business leaders. It's like accelerated business school. Like, you learn about all the different industries and business models and how to deal with important people.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun in those clubs. And those clubs, you're right, the clubhouses they're like the most expensive hotel lounge you've ever sat in.
It's just nice, you know, and it's just the environment. You're putting yourself in an environment that there's not one other person you will know that is in a similar, or even the same, or even a similar environment to what you'll be in. You'll literally be suddenly friends with some of Australia's greatest entrepreneurs, and they will be teaching you, you'll be benefiting them, and they'll be appreciative of, like, if you're an entrepreneurial person who wants to do well and you're willing to work to do well and you're ambitious, like, it's the dream job. It really is. And not because we've just got a great team. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, I think. I can't remember which member it was. But they said the thing, or maybe it was when you were interviewing Ant and Calvin, I'm not sure, that they said that the most surprising thing for most new members when they join is that when they come into the clubhouse, how willing everyone is to just come up, shake the hand, start talking to them. It's business
not
family.
You don't come in there as the newbie and hope that someone's going to talk to you and sit in the corner and have lunch on your own kind of thing. It's not like that at all.
It's a business family. You
Yeah.
feel welcome. The way we say it is, like, imagine going to your parents' house or your grandparents' house, and no one spoke to you, or no one was excited to see you.
That would be weird.
It'd be so weird. When people walk into CUB, it's like Justin Bieber just walked in. Everyone's just so excited to see them. Everyone goes, you get about 5 hugs. You get, all the members, even they don't know you, they still want to say hello to you.
Bieber, really?
I used it. That's actually the example I used to use when we first opened. But I like it because everyone remembers it. If I said George Clooney or something like that, or I don't know, anyone else,
Gandhi.
you might forget. You might forget. But when you take Justin Bieber, no one's forgetting that guy. So it's good marketing.
Yep.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're walking into your family's house, and that's the vibe you'll get. Whether it be at an event or whether you're just coming into the clubhouse for whatever reason, that should be the vibe. And I mean, as a new team member as well, I would say that's pretty similar. I think they do also have to earn their stripes, and we put them through that. We make sure that they have proved themselves to be on the team.
As do the members, right? You don't just join. You have to be approved.
Yeah.
You have to come in. You have to be a certain type of person.
Yeah, we do an interview.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, the company would be absolutely nothing without the team, and I'm so grateful to have found them. And it's the reason that we've not just led an industry, we actually created an industry now, and we've innovated one. We just everything is down to our team. They're the reason that it's good. It's not me. It definitely has something to do with the members, but it's mostly the team.
Awesome. Mate, thank you so much for coming on and being my very first guest.
Thank you.
Did
I do all right?
I think you did all right.
Yeah, all right.
Look, pleasure, and I'll look forward to broadcasting it, and we can get it out to all the members.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Cheers.